Welcome everybody, my name is Ryan and we are back with more vintage story today. This is episode number 10 of the Hardcore Vegetarian Run, that's right. And boy oh boy, I did not think I would make it to episode 10 on a single live run, but we've had some good luck and, well, sadly, it just hasn't been as challenging as I expected, and in large part due to the absence of certain mods. Namely, number one, the dinosaur mods, which still aren't updated, but I've been adding some more animal mods, the prehistoric, or I can't remember the name, hold on. Alright, they're known as the Fauna of the Stone Age mods. That's right, and I love them. I always use some of them. There's a whole handful, and I'll use a couple here or there, but big shout out to the mod author, 10th Architect. I don't know them, but like I say, I use their mods in virtually every single game I play on Vintage Story nowadays, even on my multiplayer servers. But we are going to make a change in plans. Yeah, I think we're not going to build in this location, and the reason I say that is down to the difficulty levels. So as I briefly touched on, if you install mods like animal mods, which will generate new entities in the world after world generation, then any chunks we've explored won't have those mobs or animals in them, unfortunately. So our entire island is going to be devoid of elephants and rhinos and cats, the really dangerous stuff, and that includes everything we've explored. So what we're going to do is abandon this location, but not right away, where I'm not going to pick up my 4 copper ingots and start heading out today. No. What we're going to do is, instead of focus on building a base, we're going to focus on building a sailboat. That's right. So the world is, I think, well, it's mostly ocean. It's a big part ocean, as you can see. So sailing should be pretty easy for us. And we already have a raft whipped together somewhere in the hut, stored away. But, the raft doesn't offer us very much storage. A boat? Oh yeah, we could knock out several chests and attach it to the boat, and we could literally just up and take everything I've collected to this point, probably load it onto the boat and just go, So that will be our big next move. That's what we're going to focus on doing. Now, obviously, we just gotten into the Bronze Age, so we'll still do some prospecting, and if I can, increase my store of tin bronze or whatever, even maybe get a hematite strike, we'll do that too, but we are currently kind of just waiting for flax. If my goal now is to build a sailboat, we just simply need more flax. So once the sun comes up in a couple of hours, we'll head over to our garden. Keep tabs on that, obviously. And yeah, hey, this kind of relieves the pressure to worry about leather for now. I need to really get that going, but if we're going to take an extended journey after building a sailboat, then I can worry about it later. Who knows? Maybe we'll even get lucky and stumble across like a dead elephant carcass on the way. Because like I said, we're going to be venturing into the new and unknown areas intentionally so that we can see some of this more dangerous wildlife. Make the series what it really should have been from the start. But either way, we are making progress. You could say I actually whipped together another anvil mold since we had to break ours for that. I'm just anticipating a bronze one, essentially. But now, at this point, I'm going to probably shift away from making a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we'll really try to tighten it up, and I'm just going to focus on the sailboat. So I think we can actually do a few of the stages initially before we need flax, so maybe that's what we'll focus on today. But like I said, we're not going to do anything here in the middle of the night, so let me busy myself with a little crafting, and I'll see you guys when the sun comes up. Here's a nice little tip. If you've got a stack of unlit torches and you don't want to sit here and just manually do this because it does take time and it's kind of tedious, light a campfire, put your torches in the cooking slot, and you will see the tooltip pops up. Yeah, and as long as we keep this fueled with enough firewood, it will light whatever size stack you put in there. Oh, well, just because we're not going to settle here permanently doesn't mean I can't spare a couple boards to make a door for the place, right? Instead of those hay bales. This is good. And look, I just got a skill in survival. Just for surviving, people. It happens over time. No, but lighting the fire, I guess? I don't know, but let's see. Nudist is actually good. If I might go with that. Clothing is a burden. Because here in the tropics, we don't have to worry about the weather. And it is going to be a while before I actually start to get like leather and worry about armor. At which point, even if we got a couple points of nudist, for one thing, I could always unlearn it by getting drunk. That's how XSkills work, which is great. As a side note, I love the fact that it uses an in-game substance, which there's plenty of. There's so many varieties of alcohol in Vintage Story that doesn't really serve a purpose, but now it does. So, in other words, we could reset this. But let's read it. Clothing is a burden, increases your movement speed up to 6%, your health 3 points, temperature resistance, up to 4, and decreases your hunger rate up to 10. So all good. Every piece of clothing you wear reduces these effects and will lead to disadvantages. So if we pick it and then we go look at our clothing, we've got to start taking stuff off. There it is. I think I will leave the improvised body armor on. I assume that counts as a piece of clothing, but I don't really know. At the same time, maybe it's better just get rid of it. But, well, tell you what, I won't be dragging this clothing along with me on our journeys. We'll probably just make some more. I don't know, maybe I should keep it. Because now if we're going to build a boat, I've got to really be considering, inventory space. Because, gosh, I tell you, these vessels are about all I've got. All right, we'll keep it for now. But let's forget about the clothing. Now when you guys see me in the intro, this is what I'm going to look like. Man, I'm going to have to change my thumbnail, too. That's all right. No worries. Just gives a little bit more character to our character, right? Okay, so enough chitter chatter. Hello, horse. Let's head over to the shoreline because we're going to take the first step in a sailboat, and that is laying these rollers down. Yeah, I've done this a couple of times. This is, by some arguments, the hardest, most awkward part. It's getting it situated. I'll probably have to dig out a flatter area for this. There's our raft right over there. Yeah, so you can see it's kind of popping up. It gives a weird overlay. But, yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Let's see, E to turn it. Oh no, it's showing me which way it's facing now. Yeah, well, I'll puzzle through it. I'm definitely going to have to flatten the land over here because I'd rather just spend a little bit of time digging, than walking somewhere real far away where it's like flatter. This way it's close to home and I can just, boom, get the resources right here once they're ready. So, yeah, let me situate this and then we'll see if we can get to the next step. Okay, for placing these boat rollers, you have to have 5 of them, and obviously it needs to be a big enough space to fit it. Now the boat is going to roll towards the blue section there on the left, so in order to change the directionality, we use the tool mode, which is I think default set to F on the keyboard, and by determining which direction I'm facing to the south here, now I can make sure that it's set to the south, boom, and that means the blue icon is in the right spot. We right click, there we go. So we were able to set the rollers, the very first step in sailboat construction. All right, taking a little break from the sailboat, but we are going to get a couple more stages done, I believe. Just checking on the garden. Looks like we might have some stuff to harvest, but this is a really good sight seeing these saguaro cactuses. Yeah, there's more here too, but I wasn't sure if they would like sprout outside of the savanna biome, but it looks to be, yeah, okay. Probably end up just taking those with us as seedlings. Yeah, and of course, like I said, now that we've changed our plans and we're just going to build a boat and kind of sail away, we'll harvest a bunch of this stuff, but just not replant it. All right, so anyway, let's see. Maybe the amaranth is ready. 8 of 9. Well, on second thought, actually, we might have a few more days before anything is good, but there's flax here, and this whole section over here is flax too, so I'm fairly certain we'll have enough to make sails. This was originally going to be for sails for a windmill, but Now we'll just be using it for different kind of sales, and I honestly think we'll have more than enough, so looking good. Yeah, even more rice over here. Nothing. Well, that's okay. We've got a full year-long growing season. I might as well take these back too with me. I could put one on my back, and this one I'll just carry. So, yeah, we'll lug this back over to the boat. Shoot, I might as well just move it all the way down to the ocean side where we've got our launch set up. Yep, it's a slow trip, though, with carry-on on the back. It's not a big deal. Yeah, well, look at his legs. But when it's in the hand, this is as fast as I can move. So luckily we don't have to worry about cats or anything in this area. But like I said, that will change. And I should be clear too, once we do sail a bit, we're going to find a location where we do eventually settle down and make a base. It won't be, a total nomad run, although I'll take my time. Maybe we'll look for some important features like limestone deposits nearby, maybe even some salt that we can access. So we'll be very particular, but we will do a bit of journeying. And hey, even in the boat, things can get dangerous. We don't have any actual aquatic predators, I wish, but we do have to stop off occasionally, maybe refill our resources or food. So anytime we venture onto the land, especially in these newer chunks, it's going to get real dangerous, people. Okay, it is time for stage 2 of sailboat construction. We've got our rollers down, and if we right click, as long as we have the ingredients that it requires in our inventory, it should work. And of course, they'll be listed in the tooltip right there on the screen. So we need firewood and some logs. They do have to be of the same variety as the planks we're going to use down the road. So in other words, oak logs, oak planks, and vice versa. Of course, firewood's all the same, but anyway, let's hit right click. There it is. Now we're at the 3rd stage, and this requires totally different materials, planks and plumb and squares. So we'll move on to that stage next. Okay, well, unfortunately right now I don't have enough flax to make the plumb and square. If we look at that, yeah, we need 2 of these, and I only have 1 piece of flax twine, so we'll just have to wait till ours grow, or if we venture out and explore, which we're gonna do, we're gonna have 3 pickaxes when we go. We've got our backup copper, our brand new bismuth bronze, our very first bronze tool, but I've also got this one which only has 9 durability, so not to worry. I don't want to bring a bunch of junk with me, so let me just drop that off. We will put the dirt in the hot bar. I'm leaving with no food. My bowl is empty, so I might as well leave that behind too. But we're going to head out and just kind of feed ourselves as we go. Let's plot a route. I'm going to be taking samples and just collecting whatever random resources we come across. Maybe we'll check our goats too, but I mean, basically anywhere we want to take samples where we haven't yet. So let's set out and see what kind of minerals this island holds. Oh, well, we're going to stop real quick here by the fruit trees. Nearly forgot about this. But yeah, if we're going to pick up stakes and leave, then let's reclaim these breadfruit cuttings for sure. There we go. Boom. Okay, good. I'm not really worried about these olive trees that I've got and pomegranates. Those are a dime a dozen, honestly. It's the breadfruit that we care about, so I'm going to run this back to the house real quick so I'm not carrying it around. Oh, not quite ready. Yeah, this way we can take this breadfruit with us, and honestly, if those trees over there, where are they, those? If they've sprouted enough by the time we leave permanently, yeah, I'll just take whatever cuttings I can get from them too. I'll try and leave them though. We might, one day in the far future revisit this site, but all right, there we go. And now we set off on our little expedition to search for minerals. Let's go straight. Actually, there's a bit of a cave to the south of us right here near home. It's always important. Oh yeah, this one's easily accessible. Very important to take readings near your house too. Don't neglect your homestead, because I've literally found like tin deposits right below my place before. But all right, hit F. We want the long range. Excellent. Here's number 1. We'll get 3 samples. I see a little bit of quartz here to my left. It's not interesting necessarily, but it does remind me that we found some silver and some open silver and some quartz underground. That was right there, yeah, underneath. But anyway, we've got very poor copper, cassiterite. I'd love to find some zinc. It's minuscule amounts, but that saphirolite, oof. If we could get that, because of the amounts, we would need to get some more copper, certainly, because we're low. But yeah, because of the amount of bismuth that we have, we could make a full set of bronze tools. Well, that's promising enough. If we can find better readings on anything, basically, except the cinnabar, we're good. So let's go to like this position and take a reading over here. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay, cassiterite. Look, copper has dropped off even more. And there's no saphirolite, so this is a worse position. Yeah, undoubtedly. And I didn't go to a cave for this one. Yeah. At this point, I am really curious about, the local readings, so I just picked a spot and dug down. Maybe we'll come to, like, this position north now. Up the hill. Hello, little goat. And we're getting closer to the savannah, too. Let's see. I see an open cave right there. That's far enough away. If we take a position here, then we could still take a viable reading at that position, too. All right. I just got to strip a little bit of dirt, and let's get this third reading. And reading number 3. What'll it be? Cassiterite copper's still poor. It's better than it was, but there's no saphirolite. Cassiterite actually went up, but very, very minuscule. I'm kind of curious about this hill, this cave up here on the side of the hill. Where was it? There it is. Maybe we should delve below. Hyena, watch yourself there, sir. I see you. Got my eyes on you. Yeah, if we go below... Oh, wait a second. I've already got this marked. Oh, this is where the horses were. That's right. I wanted to come here anyway and sample and kind of explore. So there's the horse. Is this a dead end? I think this is just a straight up dead end. Let's take a sample at this location, and then we'll drop down into the other side where the horses are. I'm pretty sure that goes deeper. I don't have any ladders. And I did not bring my shears with me. Okay, one more sample. I hate going caving. Ooh, copper went up. Cassiterite, bismuth. That's saphirolite. The zinc reading. Boy, that was a rare strike there, wasn't it? Not a true strike, but just a rare reading. Haven't seen anything else since then. Yeah, this seems like a bit deeper. Oh, no, it's a dead end, too. Oh, it's a little bit deceiving. I guess the last time I looked at it, I thought it went deep. I was actually going to, like, surreptitiously chase the horses to their death. I'm trying to play a pacifist here, but I'm already planning the death of the poor horses. Well, this looks like a dead end, too. Huh. All these caves are bunk. Let's see, and we've already got readings to the north here, and none of them showed the saphirolite. Honestly, our best bet now is to totally reverse course and maybe come, like, over towards the jungle. Take some samples over here. Yeah, I think that's probably what we'll do. Okay, we are losing light, but that doesn't matter underground, does it? Now that's interesting. Cassiterite, I've got better news on that. Cinnabar, but look, we're starting to see magnetite again here in the list. Yeah, if we pull this up, though, and scroll up, I got a decent reading of cassiterite. Not too far from here. It's actually this one right there, I think. So it's in this area. And we've got hematite and halite on the list. Halite is, of course, salt. So, yeah, where I got my best reading of cassiterite, we also got a halite. Halite's interesting, though. I don't think it'll occur in this area unless there's a sedimentary layer above it. But either way, I'm not really particularly worried about that. I would love to find some cassiterite and magnetite, though, before we set sail. But it's not essential, you know, and keep in mind we are kind of just killing time, literally, until, you know, the flax crop is ready. Once we get that sailboat, you know, I'm willing to abandon the area. If we haven't found what we're looking for, we'll just take readings in a new place. But again, that place will be much more dangerous to take readings. I won't be able to do it like this, where I'm just standing around in the middle of a field, completely dark. Oh, that I just scared myself to death seeing the horse's butt there. Alright, let's get back to the house, though. Even if it's not as dangerous as it soon will be, it still could be a little bit dangerous out here. But there it is, our smoky little house. Let's put the torch in the offhand. Ended up really just having to make some bamboo shoots, harvest those for food. But, well, let's just take a quick look. Yeah, Cassiterite Decent 11. That was just, there's no cave over here. So I would need to definitely get some ladders made up. Ooh, 46. How many can we make with that? I'll have to take my shears out and literally just start working on making ladders. Because, yeah, if there's no cave that we can kind of just walk through and explore, then we're talking about sinking a shaft, essentially. Just going straight down and hoping that we come to some good readings. If not, we sink a new shaft in like a nearby area and hope we strike. It can be a lot of digging and a lot of ladders, so 18 is definitely not enough. I did pick up some more vines, though, and I think we'll just turn those immediately into rope, because, yeah, that's going to be something we'll need for the sailboat, 100%. Now, let's see if I can stack rope on the ground. No, doesn't appear to. Holding shift and control, and it's not working. Oh, well, not a big deal, just wasn't sure. Ooh, it is a rainy day and a good day to go below ground. So I stripped a couple trees of their leaves, and now we've got 84 ladders. So let's do it. This is the first step I want to try here. Yeah, and as we go deeper, the sound of the rain will start to disappear. But, alright, let's go down. Obviously, we're skipping a space. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to break out the old bismuth pickaxe to get through this quartz layer. But not to worry. I'll switch back to the copper. Yeah, there we go. As soon as we get our stones. So, it's a bit of a process. Takes time, obviously. And as I kind of mentioned, there's no guarantee that we'll strike anything down in this shaft. I might have to go over about a dozen blocks and sink another shaft. So, it's one of the reasons I wanted to have plenty of ladders before we started digging in, because nothing worse than starting to get like promising readings once you get to certain depths and then like running out of ladders and you can't continue your dig. But alright, let's see if we level we at 101. It is probably way too shallow, but what I'll do is we'll just take a quick sample in all four directions here. This time we're going to be going with short range. Alright, just switched to the wrong pickaxe. Yeah, I want to use copper for just the basic stuff. Alright, so F, go to short. It's a little too far. We'll get this side piece. What does it tell us? Let's see. My pro pick's about 50%. Native silver and quartz. Quartz, huge amounts. Okay, well, we're not looking for quartz. We're definitely looking for something other than quartz. So, like I said, I'll do that same process in all four cardinal directions. And then, when I almost assuredly get no tin or no copper readings, we'll just continue deeper. Okay, so this is interesting. Yeah, our shaft has led us into a cave. Here, looks like it actually goes under the water. Yeah, we've definitely not explored here yet. Alright, let me just put a torch. I mean, insofar it's a one-way ticket, so I don't need to lay a torch yet, I guess. But let's really keep our eyes peeled for copper, any kind of minerals. At this point, I'll pretty much take anything. Okay, we're definitely getting to some open areas, so alright, we'll put that away. And again, Homo sapiens run. We don't have to worry about drifters or anything like that. Alright. Getting deeper. I can almost hear running water. Yeah, there it is. There's some raw water right there. Alright, constantly worried about getting lost underground. Why? Because it's happened before, so we'll just go deeper from here. Got a quartz level. Might not be a bad idea to take a long-range sample right here, I'm thinking. Whoops. Alright, let's switch over. We'll do a short range too, just to see what's in the wall. Let's actually go back a little bit deeper. This is a position far enough away from the other readings we've taken with our long-range samples that it'll give us hopefully something unique. Alright, very large quartz. Yeah, should have guessed that. Alright, so I'll switch it over to the long range now, and we'll take 3 quick samples. Alright, sample number 3. Very poor copper. I mean, it's about the same as the other readings we've got. Actually, the cassiterite is much more concentrated in that direction, so that's the way we'll go. Alright, let me see if I need to... Nope, we're good. Yeah, see, this is the wrong way, considering the cassiterite readings, so that's back the way we came. Let's look through here. Starting to see sandstone, that's interesting. We could get lucky and stumble across some copper, which, quite honestly, at this point, copper is just as valuable as anything else, because we don't have much of it left, do we? Okay. Now this is interesting. Look how far we are under the water now. Oh yeah. We'll definitely take a sample over here, so this will be another long range. Let's see what we get. Alright, coming up. Decent cassiterite. Poor native. Oh wow, that's the best cassiterite reading we've gotten. Yeah, it's definitely going up as we go north. Now, what about the copper? Actually, copper was better in this area here. 2.16. Yeah, copper's getting better the farther south we go, so, well, we could still stumble into that, but I'm tempted to actually, I think we'll just start sampling here. I'll treat this like just another shaft that will sink at this level. But first let me take some short-range samples here in the walls. Oh, I can feel it, that dark mineral. It's within our grasp. Oh my gosh, there it is. The dark mineral I was talking about. Tin ore. Quality medium. I didn't actually think it would be that easy. Look at this. How far I had to go. Boom, this is it. This is the spot we took our samples. I dug a couple into the wall. Didn't have any luck, so I just dropped the shaft and we got it immediately. Look at that. Alright, so no, we can break this with copper. Yeah, I was about to switch over to my bronze, but no point in doing that. So typically these cassiterite veins are not super extensive. They're very small compared to something like hematite, no doubt, but I mean, any little bit of this is really helpful because it does stretch quite a bit. Now, of course, with this, we'll be able to make tin bronze. So far, we've only made the bismuth, which definitely a bit more complex just because it requires a third ingredient to make the alloy, whereas this, just tin and copper. And we've got some beautiful stuff. Yeah, it's not too bad. Quality medium. Oh, yeah. So let's take a quick look at the map. Just to plan ahead, yeah, we're definitely, while we're still waiting on our flax, we need to make a journey to collect some more copper. So this one has been, yeah, extracted. We do have another closer vein right here. Have to do a quick swim, but that's okay. But man, other than that, I'd have to travel, yeah, all the way back over here. And, you know, honestly, with the raft, it wouldn't be too bad. We might even open up some new chunks that could be fun to explore, but, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I will definitely grab that in the near future. Probably as soon as we finish this little dive. Head back to the shed, empty out the inventory, check the flax, maybe cook up some porridge or something if we have enough. Oh, there's an opening. Yeah, and then we'll hit the road, because that copper is going to be so important now. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. There's actually a cave here, and this cassiterite was exposed. That piece right there and that piece, we would have seen that. Oh, there's saltpeter here too. I should probably grab that. Gosh, look at me, I'm already exploring more. What if I find more minerals? The deeper we go. Oh, there's more. No way, there's even more tin ore. Alright, let's get back to the original strike. I'll definitely be extracting that. Oh my gosh, this one, or well, like I should say 2 tin ore finds could carry us right through to the Iron Age, you know. You can never be too sure, just because, who knows what the difficulty of finding that meteorite, or not meteorite, the magnetite or hematite will be, but boy, oh boy, this is extensive. Man, maybe I lied. Tin ore does generate pretty good. It's just the ones that I've found up to this point have not been nearly this rich. Alright, well, let's flash forward and see what we end up with. Well, despite my fear of going deeper, I decided to continue to follow along, and I'm glad I did. So just past that second tin strike, I have come across some native copper exposed. We're getting pretty low. I'm down to level 15. Yeah, what is that, basalt? Yeah, there's going to be lava probably behind these walls, definitely underneath us, but we're close to the very bottom of the world here. Just goes to show you this beautiful metal right here can occur just about any level, straight up on the surface, also down here next to the bedrock. But no idea how extensive this will be. But the second strike was of poor cassiterite, the one we saw. The first one was very extensive, though. Definitely the biggest tin vein I've ever come across in this game in any of my runs. So, and now we've got this copper. I don't have to travel halfway across the island. Oh, this is good. This is good. We'll still probably, once we build our boat, the sailboat, I'll probably still make a trip over to those copper sites that we did find. Probably just be the first thing we go to, and it'll kind of guide our direction afterwards. We'll just head around, explore, because, you know, I don't want to leave any copper undiscovered, or unmined, I should say. But, oh, speaking of mining, I got a point in forestry too. Let's do lumberjack for speed. Mining, I put it in ore miner. So we've got one. I think I have one for pottery too. When you're copy, you will copy one. Yeah, we'll do that. Layer. Tongue twister. Oh my gosh, guys. What a successful episode it's been today. But there's going to be more hopefully successful ones, equally if not more so. Don't forget, we've still got to locate hematite, but we're going to hunker down now and do some real serious blacksmithing while we wait for our flax crop to grow. But as soon as that's ready, yeah, we're going to set sail, folks. It's time for a little bit of exploration. At least it will be here in the very near future. But I think I'll finish up with this, then head to the surface, hopefully get home safe and sound. And by that point, we'll be ready for the next episode. So make sure you tune in for it. Hit that like button. Share the video with anybody out there who may be new to Vintage Story, not sure about it. Maybe this will be what tips them over that edge to finally buy the game. And as always, guys, I will see you all on the next one.